time to introduce our final speaker of day one of the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference here at Fontainebleau. Please put your hands together for the CEO of Audacious. Let's hear it for Terry Booth.
Welcome, everybody. All 30 of you. Have you seen enough decks today? Yeah, I guess. It's going to be hard to get a laugh out of an empty room, but I'm going to get right to it. My name is Terry Booth. I'm the CEO of Audacious, former CEO of Aurora, cannabis company up north, as you guys all know. And I'm glad to be here in Florida, South Beach. Pretty cool place to be having a cannabis conference. Didn't have these 10 years ago. Not a chance. So, as I say often, it's a nascent industry. Today is the smallest the cannabis industry will ever be on the go forward. Okay, that's without a doubt. Let's have a presentation here. So, as I said, I'm going to go through this pretty quick, and then we'll get to the post-event parties. Audacious, how many people in here own our stock? Okay, all the Audacious people do. Brad, you too? Okay, so two. If it was full-out intent to change that, and hopefully we can get you to buy some more, you guys. But it's crazy if you don't own Audacious, in my opinion. We're in the early stage. I've been CEO since March of last year, and the company has done quite a bit in that time frame. That's just some stuff about me, how we got here with Audacious. When I was CEO of Aurora, we spun Australis out because we were graduating to the New York Stock Exchange, and they didn't allow anybody touching the plant. That board and that management team was removed during a dissident battle. That wasn't pretty, but it had to be done. And it ended in November of 20. I joined in March of 2021, and away we go. At that time, Audacious was only in Nevada, and it was Australis Capital. A lot of companies thought it was a lendco. It was not meant to be. It was meant to be a cannabis company. So we're going to move forward, hopefully to be one of the MSO Tier 1s. Tier 2 is before where we are now, which I would call us Tier 3. Very low market cap, ridiculously low market cap, and I'll prove that to you today. Symbol is AUSA on the CSC, AUSF on the OTCQB. And here we are. Jason Raznick, I was creeping Benzinga on my way while writing my speech, and I found that, how did he come up with the name? And it came from his childhood, when him and his grandfather would use it as a word of exclamation. So it must have been like, Benzinga! Benzinga! If you're a little kid running around the yard, that's how the name came to be. So I find it to be an audacious name. So it's right in line with our company's fun and good stuff. So the deck. I remind myself on every page to go back to the deck. Okay, businesses include, these are acquisitions. We acquired Green Therapeutics in Nevada, Alps. I'll talk a little bit about that. Of course, Loose, great company in Cali, making a infused beverage line and soon to have some more edibles online. Great brand. Strategic partnerships, Three Rivers, probably the best genetic guys I've come across in the space. I know my cannabis, and these guys are top notch. We spent millions of dollars at Aurora trying to do plant tissue culture and micropropagation, and these guys have nailed it. Golden Triangle Health, look at that, eh? Young MSO in America gets an international deal with Thailand. We're the first. No other MSOs can make that claim. So we're pretty happy about that. It's a CBD deal. They're moving towards THC in Thailand before too long. We've got our young Max down there, orchestrated a lot of that, as did Duke Fu. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, John. 420. Yeah. We'll sing happy birthday later. So we got me, you know about me a little bit. Jason Dyke is our Chief Science Officer. Just today, Jason was published by the University of Alberta. What was it called? A metabolic fingerprint or signature of human beings that ties into the effects of cannabis and the psychotropic, psychoactive effects of cannabis. So ultimately will help in giving patients safer pain relief. Duke, our COO, came over from Green Therapeutics. He was the CEO interim while the distant battle was on and I was waiting in the wings. He's a molecular scientist and an expert in extractions and derivatives. A great addition to this company. I don't know what we do without Duke in his COO stuff. He's literally, been responsible for getting us in the Cali market, certainly strong in the Nevada market. Missouri, we're working on to get that opened up, and away we go. Duke also served as president of MedMen in the early days, 2014, 2015. So he's got some lineage there. John Paul, our birthday boy today, graduate of Harvard, in the cannabis space for a long time now. He's got the gray temples, as we like to say, as do I. I thought these were blonde, actually, but my kids tell me they're not. Yeah, they're white. But he has a difficult job navigating through these 50 countries, we call it, in America. Very difficult from a financial perspective when the feds don't necessarily agree with what you're up to. So that's that. Leah Bailey, good old Leah, she's ex-CEO of a cannabis company in Michigan, one of the best in Michigan, a Flourish. She's also a CPG expert, another graduate of Harvard. She's our Chief Business Development Officer. Been very laser focused, I'd like to say, on the East Coast, Leah, and that's starting to bring its fruit. I'm going to talk to you a bit about that once I get out of this deck. Finally, Thomas Larson, President of Alps. Thomas, I met in the Netherlands. I knew after 2 days with Thomas that Aurora had to buy his company. He since has relinquished that, and now he's a part of the Australis team. A little bit of nepotism, I guess. A global leader in design and engineering of facilities in cannabis grow and CEA grow, controlled environmental agriculture. Brad, I think you'd agree. Thomas is a strong leader in that space. Certainly, he's all over the world. He's in Dubai on a project. He's in Iceland on an algae project. He's in America with a few cannabis projects. So he's a guy that's going to beat the drum forward and really is the Trojan horse of the plan of Audacious forward. I want to flip right to slide 7. See how quick I'll do this? There it is. This is just one here. Okay. First off, we had to get rid of the board and the management team, and then we had to deal with them with all their lawyers and their hands out. So that was a job in itself. That was in November. January, we closed Green Therapeutics. February, we closed the 51 purchase of Alps with a right to the other 49. We did the Three Rivers JV in March. I guess we closed GT then. In June, we changed our name to Audacious. I think it's appropriate. It's confident, it's wild, it's in a crazy space, and we aim to be an audacious company making audacious steps around the planet. Getting America into countries outside of the dirt here is a huge step, and hopefully it opens doors for others. When we did the California beverage market, our man Anthony's here somewhere. Where are you at? There you are. He's running that show and pretty well running our West Coast in biz dev or business operations. We have a partnership there with Ease, if you guys have heard of them. They're a pretty formidable delivery co, and it includes a deal with Herb, which is a dispensary in San Jose. And we have a right to a second one. Mentioned PBR. No, I haven't yet. They're a pretty impressive brand. I don't know if you ever watched PBR, but these guys get on 1,000-pound animals and then get tossed off within 8 seconds mostly. And they have quite a bit of pain. We've got a topical. We hope to get edibles into that mainstream. They've got a bunch of partners. Amazing number of hits, Leah. Was it 2 billion hits a year on social? They got a great following, very loyal following, so we hope to make a dent in the CBD space with that. Golden Triangle Health, that's a company that's owned by NFR, a large publicly traded company in Thailand, like 400 million market cap. Excellent distribution rights, and the guy's connected, this Thomas, that's the CEO of Golden Triangle. Very contagious guy, I'd call him. He's always smiling, and he knows everybody in Thailand, like right from the the hierarchy, the bureaucrats, and the Minister of Health. And we went with them a couple times when we were there. Good guy, and hope to expand that. This letter of intent with the First Americans, I think it's gone even further than that. We've not reported exactly our progress there, but it's good in getting cannabis grown on Indigenous lands in New York State. And then this, we got a capital commitment from LDA, which is a tranche deal, which isn't the best, but are any companies out there looking for money? Show of hands. Yeah, a few. And there's not a lot forking it out these days. So, you have to do your work, you have to execute, and you have to be able to sell the song and dance, and it can't be too much of a dance. It should be a great song with a great end. The latest, that's not up here yet, is New Jersey. And New Jersey State have finally moved towards adult usage and have granted provisional licenses. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. And, we were in June and July of 2021 negotiating with an MSO in New Jersey. I'm not going to name any names, but you probably figure it out after I'm done here. But their value, they pegged it at $150 million. We pegged it at around 120. We didn't end up getting it. Someone else did for in that ballpark. And they have a 10,000 square foot grow facility in New Jersey. They do not have a provisional license, as we do. We got one, they didn't. And we're at $23 million market cap. So I'll stop again. I'll answer this callers 1 second. The value of Australis is immense. And I've been here before, everybody. I've been tremendously undervalued. Every CEO in the world would say, we're undervalued, we should be higher. This is ridiculous where we're valued, in my opinion. Now, we have a dissident battle hangover. We're coming into the space as a new cannabis company where really we're not. With this excellent management team and what you saw that we've accomplished already, now to get the license in New Jersey, and we'll get one in New York State, right? I think we've done the work in New York State. We announced today Bertha Lewis, who is an influencer, extraordinaire in New York State. It took a long time to get in Bertha's camp. You can't be full of shit with Bertha. You have to believe in social equity, inclusion, in the problems with the states that have attempted to do social equity, and I think New York State have got it right. And there's other money that we've spent there, but I feel we're in a very good position. We hired this fellow that was responsible for over 70 now, 74. Yeah, I was going to Leah, she knows the answers. Limited license states, permits and licenses in limited license states. He was responsible to get licensed. Not for us. It would have been nice if we were there, but we're not. So we have tremendous faith in this young man and his team in moving us forward with licensing. And he's a ex-lawyer, I guess, but the one thing he told me about New Jersey, he said, Terry, I'm 100% sure we're going to get a license in New Jersey. Who says that? Especially lawyers, right? They're not that tight, but he was right. So I'm glad he was. I'm going to stay with New Jersey. I know it isn't even in the deck. I live in Alberta, Canada. We have a population of 4.5 million people. New Jersey has a population of 9 million people. The number of licenses issued in Alberta per capita is 210. If you convert that to New Jersey's population, it would have 1,800 licenses in that state to manage a successful cannabis system. Now, sure, some of Canada's overcooked. The retailers in Alberta, I think there's 700 of them. My son's one of them. He's not losing money, but he sure ain't making a lot. He's always coming out, Dad, can you help me with this? And I stroke the check, but he pays me back. But it's a tough go. But it's servicing an industry very similar to New Jersey, and New Jersey right now has less than 100 licenses. So the growth potential in New Jersey is significant. And if you know what you're doing, your team knows what they're doing, you should be able to control or have a good say in first mover advantage. And that's what we're attempting to do. Add in New York, right? That's 20 million people. So now you're 30 million people in a very small area compared to Canada. I actually wrote that down. You guys aren't too interested in the square footage of, or square kilometers of Canada. But New York and New Jersey combined are 164,000 square kilometers. Canada is 9,984,000 square kilometers. So if you think, well, why is that an advantage? Well, the logistics to deliver a cannabis system in Canada are far more difficult than to deliver it in those two states. And the population is similar. So there's a ton of money to be made in those states, and certainly they're limited licenses. It's going to be a hell of a challenge to support that system for years and years to come. So let's reflect on our values. Righteousness. I got into the cannabis space because I believe in it. I believe in our wonderful bud, our wonderful plant, 100%. I wouldn't be back in it if I didn't believe in it. And the people that are righteous in this space, I believe, are still in it. And the ones that are still in it are normally the righteous ones. And, you know, I tip my hats off to the Americans often. I really do. Managing to continue doing business in the United States, this country of 50 countries, with regulations that aren't in your favor, it's a tough go. But it'll get better. We're seeing it. Remember the old coal memo? Guys, remember that, gals? They ripped that up when Trump came in and came up with a new memo. DEA still didn't enforce, did they? Right? Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court judge, Republican. He's in favor of it. He thinks it's ridiculous you can sit on your step in 35 states and smoke a joint. And the other 15, you risk going to jail. Okay? So it's on its way. I got ahead of myself. Wow. So as I said, we're laser focused on the East Coast. We're also laser focused on any of the limited license states. We've done a lot of work. A lot of the work we have done has been relative to the review of the states and their regulatory environment. That's my background. That's where I came from. Before Aurora, I was pretty good at it. That company still exists, and it's still number one in the province. I'm proud of that company, and I've been there for a while. I don't know if they recognize me. But the opportunity, come on, in America is the opportunity of a lifetime in this space. You have to be funded, of course, for your growth. You can organically grow. It's a tougher road to haul, but I've never seen an opportunity like this in my life. And this is an international opportunity as well. So Audacious is in a very good position to continue to be successful in this space. I want to talk a bit about social equity and this righteousness thing. You need to, in order to survive, you need to thrive in this space of being righteous. It's imperative believing in our flower with a maniacal zeal. You have to have that passion for this space with all the roadblocks that it faces. I used to always ask, actually I'm copying this off one of my mentors, but he'd say to me, Terry, would you rather be the guy that breaks down the gate and smashes the fence, or would you rather follow him behind the guy that broke down the gate and smashed the fence? Well, you know my answer. I'd rather be knocking down fences in an audacious way. Why? Why? He says, I don't know. I didn't know. He knew. When you knock down the fences, when you push apart the gates, you learn why they're there. And learning is everything about this space, because it's complex. The plant's a weed, but it doesn't grow like one. You want to get your grams per pound up there, or per light, rather, pounds per light up there. How are you going to do it? Oh, we're going to do it with lights. You can't just do it with lights. You need environmental controls. You need CO2. You need placement. You need genetics, right? You need Mr. Sunshine sometimes if you're hoop housing it. Well, here we are, 420 in South Beach again. Isn't that cool? Come on, put it up. I don't have many here, but let's get excited about this. It's John's birthday. Okay, it's John's birthday. For goodness sakes, I almost said something else. So, yeah, we sit here in this room, and our social equity, our people of color, are still not even fairly represented in here. Why is that? We got to do our parts to improve that. Benzinga are great with what they're doing with this donation to the prisoner fund, their get out of prison fund with people incarcerated because of cannabis laws. And 80 to 90% of those people that are incarcerated are people of color. They're in jail, right? Little white Johnny went to college who got busted. He didn't go to jail, did he? Well, people of color are dead. Remember the 3-strike thing they had? Right? 2 shopliftings and a quarter ounce of pot and 25 years in jail. Okay, so that's got to change, and we're the people with, you got some change in your pockets, make a change. Okay, donate to these causes, they're important. Let's acknowledge the pioneers, the activists, the whacktivists. They got us here, and we've taken this golden baton. I always say we got to run with it. We got to make sure that we cradle it. You know, these people that point back to the black market, I've never called it black market in my life, but when they point back to that and they say, oh, that's bad, that's terrible, bullshit. They're the ones that started, they're the ones that took the risks. They're the ones that believed in the plant, regardless of it being illegal or not. So I'm still in this space because I love it. It's a good business. Benzinga, thank you for hosting this. I could roll through these, and I'm going to make sure I don't miss something. Leah will have me at the stake. As I said, you can get this deck on our website. Of course, we've got assets. Of course we do. And you can call me, 780-722-8889, if you have any questions about these. But it just goes to show what we've been up to in one short year. I don't think there's an MSO that's done this much in this country in one short year. Leah? I don't think so. Anybody out there want to name one? I can. It's Audacious. The California market, you know, it's tough. You can't not be in California, though. And you have to be in all the verticals in Cali. But we're there. We're there with edibles and carts and soon bud. We got bud there yet? I think we're starting to. No? Anthony? Soon? Soon? Missouri, of course. Thailand, we talked about New Jersey. Are you kidding? Just amazing, New Jersey, getting that license. Our brands, you know, I've said often this is a brand play. Not a lot of companies have really captured this yet. Cookies would be one that's done a pretty good job with branding. Truly here in Florida, pretty good job. Our brands are set, they're ready to roll. Brands are all driven by great quality product as well, so you better have that if you're gonna try and build a brand on it. Mr. Natural, he's one of my faves. He's 72 now, maybe 73. Rastafarian priest, white guy from the Bronx, Vietnam War vet. He's grown cannabis longer than I've been alive. Okay? A burner used to run weed for him in California back in the day. And he's the founder of Cookies, if you know Burner. So he's quite a character, organic grower, mainly focused on PTS for the veterans, and a great addition. Duke's, Brands, and Anthony's, Loose, Tsunami, Provisions, are all great products. They're all good, if you know what I mean. They're very, very good. Okay, very cerebral. Very much an enjoyable night. Keep saying so just in closing on the social equity piece, we need to create jobs, and we need to educate, and we need to be part of that. It's only going to help you in your business anyway, so why the hell wouldn't you do it? But just do it from a righteous point of view, and do it audaciously. Thank you very much. Is there any questions? On that note, you sure you have no questions? Because I'm ready to go party. Everybody else? Yeah, it's time. Happy 420, everybody. Thanks for coming out.